in a sentence, my fix on Gnosticism is that Gnostics were seers who used psychoactive plants and also used Kundalini yoga, techniques of Kundalini yoga, to develop a highly sophisticated worldview based on their direct perception of Gaia. They had a central figure in their mythology, a goddess. The central figure of the Gnostic worldview is a goddess, as you know, called Sophia. And I've argued all through the site, you can see this, there's a word search function on the site. If you put in Sophia, all this material will come up, or if you go to the Gaia Sophia Navigator, it will take you to all the places on the site where I discuss this. I am arguing that the specific focus of the Gnostic and mystery tradition in Europe was entheogenic practices focused on Gaia, focused on the goddess Gaia or the goddess Sophia. And so that represents for us a model that we can take today in our understanding of Gaia and possibly the model for the future development of shamanism.
Wow. All right, well, look, it is about 23 before the hour. Let's take a quick break here. I've got to take one more, and then we'll come back and we'll have a few more minutes.
We'll do a final segment. We have about 15 minutes, right?
Yeah, we got about 15 minutes, okay?
Excellent, Mike.
All right, John, hang on just a second.
Thank you so much.
All right, thank you. All right, everybody, this is John Lash, and we're lucky to have him. He's live with us from his home in Belgium, and information and tremendous amount of material that John has researched and developed over a number of years can be found at www.metahistory.org. And we'll be back with John in just a second here. One last song by our friend Martin Lind. This song is called Rain. We'll be back in just a few minutes with John Lash. This is Mike Hagen. You're listening to Radio Orbit. Rain from Martin Lind. And we're going to cut it a little bit short here and get right back to our guest, John Lash. All right, John, we're back to you.
Good to be here.
All right, yeah, we got about 15 or 20 minutes left, so a little bit of time to talk a little bit more about some of these things. Hey, I wanted to ask you quickly. I know you were at the Albert Hoffman conference. What was that? Two months ago or something like that?
Yeah, 16th of January.
Yeah, maybe you can give us a little overview of what your thoughts were about what went down there. That was in Basel, I think, in Switzerland, right?
Yeah, sure. Well, it was a tremendous experience. There were 1,500 people at the conference, and it was 3 solid days, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, to the end of the day. Albert Hoffman spoke at the beginning of the conference and at the end, and it was his 100th birthday. It opened on his 100th birthday.
Amazing.
On a full moon.
Amazing.
And on a Friday the 13th. I mean, it was pretty spectacular. It was tremendously moving experience for a number of reasons. One, because Hoffman was there, and he spoke in such a beautiful, humble, and childlike way about his discovery of LSD, with such enormous respect for that entity and how it called him and how it brought him back to his love of nature as a child. I mean, it was deeply moving. I wept like a kid, and many people did, hearing him speak. I also felt throughout the whole conference Mike, I can't tell you the impact that went over me like a wave. It was like a tsunami of grief.
Really?
Yeah. A tsunami of grief for my generation and what we have been through, and for the great opportunity that I've had. I was born in 1945. The great opportunity that I've had. I was 15 years old in 1960, and to have been part of this 60s revolution and of the psychedelic revolution, which is only just a name we put on the reemergence of something in the human spirit. In the 60s, something reemerged in the human spirit through this shamanic retrieval that we've been talking about. And we had a fantastic opportunity to change society, to change ourselves, to reconnect with humanity. And all of that was blown away and destroyed. And there are, it survives now in certain individuals, but it does not survive as a social movement of any kind. LSD was made illegal. I'm not a pro-LSD person particularly. I'm not against it either. Perhaps I should say that to me LSD is kind of like trainer wheels on a bicycle. If you want to have a test run of an entheogenic experience, then take some LSD. But if you want to go on the trip itself, LSD is not going to take you there, But it was tremendously important that it opened the window of opportunity. And then I relived with many of the people at the conference, because many of them were of my generation, relived the grief of what happened to that window of opportunity, and how it was shut down, and how the 60s went bad, really fast. How many people were lost along the way. So it was a tremendously moving experience. I was shattered at the end of this experience. Joanna as well. We both were. We laid around for a couple of days. We could barely move. I mean, it was emotionally very, very powerful. On the other hand, in terms of the content and treatment of the conference itself, I had two objections. One, it was very white male intellectual. Most of the lectures and the talks were almost professorial clinical talks.
Really?
Yeah, about LSD and chemistry.
Right.
There were some women. There were about 3 or 4 women presenters, and there were about 40 or 50 men presenters. So there was a lack of the female element. There was too much white male intellectualism. And getting back to an observation that you just made before the break, there was a lack of the sense of the sacred. And that was the most unfortunate thing. I didn't